I hope everyone's doing well. My name is Daniel Fainman. I'm the CEO of a company called Larecoin. We just here configure. CEO of a company called Larecoin. We're coming out to market this year. Larecoin's a pretty unique company. You can go to larecoin.com to learn a little more about exactly what we do. But I'm also a lead artist on Crypto Chums, which is a very unique NFT collection behind a DSO project, a decentralized social network. It's a freedom of speech project. And this is a collection that I take pride in. I actually designed these pieces myself. Essentially, I'm here today to let everyone know that the NFT market, it went from $100 million market last year to a $22 billion market this year, okay? It's a major jump, and it's growing at an exponential rate. But more importantly, I'd like to share and simplify the process with everyone today on how to create an NFT collection. And let's just minimize this a little bit. How to create an NFT collection using software that's out there already. All right, and there's a number of different options. There's a number of different resources out there. If you can Google, like you heard Kenneth speak about Adobe Illustrator, and you know, I specifically use for this specific collection a program called Krita, right? And Krita, you know, there's YouTube videos out there that can teach you tutorials that can teach you how to use a program like this. And you can, you know, take advantage of programs like this on the internet to create essentially layers of your NFT. I'll give you guys some insight on how I created the Crypto Chums collection. The Crypto Chums collection, or any NFT collection, works with layers. So you have your backgrounds, your different backgrounds. You have your maybe background layers. In my case, I had a body. I designed a body with different colors for my collection. Some brows, some eyes, ears, facial hair, hair pieces, lips, makeup, noses, nose shades, pupils. There's no limit, right? So as far as your creative abilities go, you can really design anything. As you can see in this collection, each character here has different eyes and different pupil colors and different hair, different attributes and properties is what makes up a NFT and what makes each one of these pieces unique. So I also use a NFT generator called NFT Art. And the unique thing about NFT Art is it enables you to essentially, well, there's something called a ramp too, but NFT Art enables you to take all of these pieces, all of these layers that you design in your artwork program, and it randomizes it in a collection, right? So it's an NFT, no code NFT collection generator that takes all your layers and randomizes them so that you can come up with unique pieces. You want to do 10,000, a collection of 10,000 NFTs, you have the ability to do 10,000 NFTs. You want to do 20,000 NFTs, you can do 20,000 NFTs. There's no limit, really. You do 100,000 if you want. So here's a little trade secret, right, that I'm sharing with everybody. All these artists here that are joining us today have the ability to design NFTs, all right? You can do it from the convenience of your home. You create your art layers, you take them all, you organize them in folders, you name your folders just like this. Your backgrounds, your background layers, your body, brows, eyes, whatever your character or design that you have. You then go to nftgenerator.art, right? And then you create a 10,000 piece collection. It gives you a zip folder after. There's a very small fee that you pay, all right? So in this case scenario, for 10,000 NFTs, you pay $389 once you have your art, okay? This is probably, you can generate 100 for free, okay? This isn't my software, by the way. This is a third-party application that I use, that I'm recommending everyone to use because it's easy, it's simple, it's not rocket science. You don't have to worry about creating the randomization of your NFT collection, okay? Moving on to that, I use a platform called Ramp, which I intend on acquiring as a company down the road. Ramp.xyz. Write it down. This can be resourceful for you in the future. Ramp is a smart contract generator that allows you to generate a smart contract. Let's launch a project. I'll walk you through here. Supports login. Okay, so I don't have MetaMask on this computer, but you have to have MetaMask installed on your browser in order to connect to Ramp. Ramp enables you. You know what? Let's download MetaMask so I could show everybody really quickly how this works, because this is really going to help everyone on here. Okay, so bear with me. Let's download MetaMask really quickly. Okay, on this computer. I'm sorry, I have like 5 computers, and I'm using each one for different purposes here. Hold on 1 second. I should have had this done already. But all right, so if I can download it right now, all right, maybe we can set up another session and I could show you how this works. But essentially, Ramp enables you to take your 10,000, 5,000, 1,000, 20,000 piece collection and upload it into the system, okay, where you can generate, you can set how much money you want to make as far as a minting fee. The good thing about Ramp is you keep 100% of your source code, which means that the smart contract is yours. It's not a third party's. So for example, like, Formosart is a generator, and the gentleman was kind enough to show his generator. But the difference between something like Ramp and Formosart is Ramp enables you to essentially keep your source code. It's 100% yours, and it's not getting deployed by a third party, right? It's getting deployed directly by you as the artist. So with Ramp, you have the capabilities to set a minting fee where upon a collector minting one of your art pieces, you automatically can get paid a minting fee, okay? And you can set that minting fee to a certain amount of money, a certain amount of digital asset, where as soon as somebody mints that very first time they mint your collection, they mint one of your pieces, you automatically get a fee right off the bat, versus if you were to deploy your collection on OpenSea, you don't get that minting fee. All right, so OpenSea doesn't give you that minting fee. OpenSea gives you a royalty. There's a difference. So there's a minting fee and then there's a royalty. The minting fee gives you the money right away from the time the collector mints your pieces. The royalties are made from each time a collector buys and sells one of your pieces. All right. So that is, of course, if the royalty is shared with the holders in that specific collection. And you could determine all of that within the smart contract. This software not only enables you to deploy the smart contract, but there's also IPFS, which is a hosting platform that they literally walk you through the entire process as to how you can host your pieces as well as deploy and write that smart contract. But the good thing about Ramp is you own that smart contract. There's no third party that owns it. So that's important. Another thing I'd like to share with you guys is here OpenSea, right? OpenSea, if you scroll down on OpenSea, you can see all the top collections on OpenSea, the last 7 days and the last 30 days, right? So CloneX, you got 54,000 Ethereum plus. And these are all of the other collections that you could see are climbing up the ranks and competing against each other. These are the most worthwhile collections to invest into. I mean, not to say that private artists or independent artists aren't worthwhile, but These are the most lucrative collections on the market today. But what I mean by that is Mutant Apes, for example, was a collection that was just minted recently. The floor price just changed in the last 24 hours from 7 Ethereum to 14. That's a big jump by 7 Ethereum. They're saying that Mutant Ape Yacht Club is going to hit a 66, maybe a 50, 60, 40, 50 to 66 floor price and compete directly with Bored Ape Yacht Club. Bored Ape Yacht Club. So these are just some of the collections that you can share. But another insight, that you can see that are trending and that are top collections in the market. Another resource that could be resourceful for everybody is a site called NFTcalendar.io. Write it down. This is the place to go to follow all of the NFT collections that are hitting the market that aren't in the market yet. In other words, you can see when they're dropping and you can be the first one to mint one of these collections when they just come out for pennies on the dollar. Now, when I say mint for pennies on the dollar, I mean when you mint a collection versus an NFT versus buy one, two different things. When you buy an NFT on OpenSea or Rarible, you're buying one from somebody that minted one, okay? When you mint one, you're kind of getting in on the pre-sale. Not kind of, you are getting in on the pre-sale. So the pre-sale is the very first release of that collection, okay? That's the cheapest you can get that NFT for. Most of these NFTs are going from anywhere from $30 to a few $100s on the initial mint. But as soon as they're minted, you know, of course, do your research. Each collection here has a different purpose, a different, you know, project behind it. So do your research. Some projects obviously have a better purpose than other projects, but essentially, if not all of these collections at a mint go for a higher resale as soon as they hit the market. So, you know, a lot of the stories that you hear, if you hear any about people making, you know, ridiculous money on their sales right away, they're making the money because they're minting these NFTs from the very beginning, and they're the first ones to get it, right? Because the mints sell out within minutes, if not hours, depending on how big the community behind the project stands. So when you mint these collections, you're the first one to get them, and you're most probable to make a profit on them right away. So essentially, I hope I shared some information with you guys that will become resourceful. But, you know, I'm here to simplify the process. You know, you can create your layers with the software like Krita or Adobe Illustrator or Paint. You know, here's an example. There's one layer, there's two layers. You can create a third layer, a fourth layer, fifth layer. Each layer can have a different purpose, right? When you create your layer, then you create different colors of that same layer, different primarily colors or whatnot. So as you can see with the crypto chums, each crypto chum has a different layer, different color, you know, like the ears are purple in this one and black in this one and blue in this one, and so on and so forth, or the lips are teal blue and white or gold. So, you know, each layer has different a color scheme. And let me just go back here really quick to let me see. Let's go back to OpenSea. All right, and I'll just pick an example here. I'll use the biggest example, the highest one, Mutant Apes, right? We'll go to Mutant Apes collection, and let's click on one of these NFTs, and you can see the minimum bid for this one is $100,000 already, right? So people are actually buying these NFTs for hundreds of thousands of dollars right now. When they just hit the market, they hit the market at 7 or 8 Ethereum. All right. Now they're going for 30 Ethereum. So the properties in this collection, you can see each one has a background. Each one has clothes, earrings, eyes, fur, mouth. These are unique attributes for this specific collection. Some of them have, special attributes that make them even more unique. So when you create a collection of NFTs and you design your layers, these are essentially the layers for the NFTs. Background is one layer. You may have 10 or 1,000 different variations of a background, different colors. Maybe you have stars, maybe you have an animated background, maybe you have an animated background with music playing in the background, so on and so forth. So clothes, same thing. One NFT could be wearing a hat with a jacket, the other NFT could be wearing a guinea tee or white t-shirt or shorts. So it all boils down to the design. Now, going to an extent further, there's two types of NFTs. There's ERC 721s, right, which is a non-fungible token, and then there's ERC 1155. Now, it's crucial you guys write this down because this is educational. You could do your own research afterwards, but essentially, ERC 1155s are an improved standard of an ERC 721, and it enables you to write a smart contract for your NFT to be able to code it into some kind of program, into some kind of underlying technology, such as a game, for instance, right? So you can see there's a lot of games out there like Axie, Infinity. I think Colin had mentioned that or earlier today, there's a number of them. I can't think of it, much off the top of my head, but there's a lot of NFT gaming products coming about. And these or Shiboshis and the Shiba Inu community is looking to drop a game. But there's a number of NFT gaming products coming to market right now. And you can program your NFT collection in a game, or you can program your NFT collection in a software. In our case with Larecoin, and Larecoin Business being a software as a service point of sale merchant solution with an ad component that ties into what we're developing essentially for a B2B to C metaverse project here, is we will be generating NFTs as receipts for proof of purchase of products and services in which customers will be receiving upon buying something from a merchant. So in our case, scenario, with the 1155s, we can do a lot of different unique things with our NFT receipts. And I guess what I'd like to say to add on to this subject is there's also a yielding component. The yielding component is enabling your community and your collectors to earn money, to earn a recurring yield on your artwork, on your NFTs. And that's what really differentiates you as an artist from and your community from other NFTs out there that are just standalone NFTs and collection pieces that really don't have any yield benefit. So wouldn't you want to buy an NFT that makes you money rather than just sits in your wallet and just is a showpiece? Don't get me wrong. There's a benefit to both, depending on the circumstances, but yielding NFTs give you a percentage of the royalties as a collector of that collection. Okay. So if you have a yielding NFT, every time a buyer sells, a seller sells and a buyer buys one of those art pieces, the rest of the community earns a yield. So for example, if you have 10,000 if the artist has 10,000 NFTs in their collection, and out of those 10,000 NFTs, 3,500 people own them, okay? Each time one of those 3,500 collectors sells an NFT, the rest of the 3,499 people earn a royalty from that sale. So in this case scenario, when you have something like Mutant Apes, which has $100,000 floor price right now, and they're assuming their royalty is even 10%. I don't know what their royalty is, but assuming their royalty is 10%, that's $10,000. That means $10,000, a portion at least of $10,000, goes back to every single holder that owns a Mutant Ape Yacht Club NFT. So I just wanted to share that with you to look for projects as a buyer that have some kind of benefit, that have some kind of yielding benefit, because that's really going to benefit you as a collector. You know, I'll keep it short and sweet. I am available, you know, at any time. I will include my, let's see here. How do I stop this here? All right. So focus share, stop share. There we go. I'll include my information here. Anyone is welcome to reach out to me directly. I'd be happy to provide more education on this, but I hope I was resourceful. I hope I provided a lot of insight on NFTs. You know, I can provide a little more insight, you know, and knowledge on NFTs right now before I end. But before I end my conversation here, but in short, you know, NFTs could be any form of digital artwork. You know, they could be images, GIFs, animations, videos. They could even be documents and records of any kind. It could be a deed to a property. It could be a medical record. There's really no limit as to what you can turn an NFT into, or what you can turn your file as far as into an NFT. And you know, audio files, video files, gaming, you know, files, skins, literacy, books, film scripts, even domain names today are NFTs. You know, there's really no limit as to what an NFT could be. So bear with me here. If anyone has any kind of questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Hello, yes. I actually have two questions. Number one, Daniel, can you make an NFT out of something that cannot be scanned? So, for example, a piece of real estate.
Well, I mean, a piece of real estate can be scanned. So you know how you have virtual walkthroughs now? And you can virtually walk through a piece of property, and they have 360-degree technology now where you can take a full scan of a piece of property these days with 360-degree technology, where it gives you like a visual experience in real time of the entire property, the outside, the inside, and that in itself can be converted into an NFT. Also, like I was mentioning before, a deed to a property can be converted into an NFT. Colin had mentioned unlockable content that you can add into the NFT piece. So if you buy a certain NFT, if you own that piece, it actually unlocks a secret file of content, and that file can be really anything. So you know, you could do to answer your question, you could do a 360-degree visual of a piece of property, and then within that 360-degree visual, you can unlock the deed to the property. And it being an NFT, you are the unique owner of that deed. So you can tie the unique, because an NFT, everyone who owns an NFT, they're a unique holder of that NFT. So for a property, you can there's two ways you can tokenize. Essentially, NFTs are tokenizing assets, right? Which are intellectual properties in this case scenario, and you can tokenize a piece of real estate either as a unique piece as a whole, or you can tokenize a piece of real estate by dividends, right? So right now you're seeing a lot of real estate companies bringing offerings to market where they're tokenizing hotel properties or massive complexes and whatnot, and they're raising capital through NFTs to be able to fund deals like this. Same thing with decentralized hedge funds or venture capital firms. There's really no limit. It's a beautiful thing, and this industry is going to grow tremendously over the years, as well as the cryptocurrency industry and the blockchain space in general. But I'd love to. I'm excited about this. I live and breathe this, so I'd be happy to answer any other questions anyone has.
Okay, and the second part of my question, was it Colin? I think someone mentioned, and you also, Daniel, mentioned a couple of times audio files. How can they be turned into NFTs?
Great question. So an audio file is a file. So you can actually, when you generate a NFT collection, they're essentially made up of files. So the file itself, the audio file itself, becomes an NFT, and you see a lot of musicians right now and artists, that even studios that own the rights to intellectual properties like music, tracks, soundtracks, beats, even albums. Right, so they essentially generate these files into NFTs, and it's a way to maintain proof of ownership for the intellectual property itself, like as a studio, for instance, right? Whether it's an audio file, intellectual property, or a video file or a movie, by putting it onto the blockchain. It's a way of letting the public know that they own the rights to it. They own the rights to that specific audio file. And like Universal, for instance, a major studio, Universal, has their own blockchain technology, and they started converting all of their intellectual properties into NFTs. Even Stan Lee, which is the creator of all the superheroes, right? Spider-Man and Batman and the latest superhero Chakra, right? They're turning all of their intellectual properties into NFTs. In fact, I'd like to even maybe share my screen again and maybe share Stan Lee's latest collection, which isn't mintable yet, but it will become mintable. And it's something that everyone should be tuned into. It's called Beyond Life. Okay, if you go to or if you go to beyondlife.club, all right, bear with me, I'll put it in the chat here. Everyone should be tuned into this when it goes live, because this is going to be, I think, a hit collection. For some reason, I'm having some technical. Bear with me here, folks. Bear with me here 1 second. All right, great. So I got it. Let me just go back to. All right, good. So I'm going to share it in the chat, the link. So that's Stan Lee's collection, right? And Stan Lee, is a famous artist that, again, he's behind all the superheroes. So something to look into. But yeah, I'd love to answer more questions. If you have any other ones, throw them my way.
I have a question.
Since Ken asked something about the audio, I think we have a musician here, Andy. Maybe Andy, you have some question about for the musician or the audio, those feel. Andy Ling is the musician. I think it's a viola and also very active musician. So maybe he didn't hear me. So, but I think it's Li Xiang is also okay. Andy is on the phone. So Li Xiang is also a music background. So that maybe some you can ask some question for the musicians, and a lot of audience here as a background designer or the visual artist. I think it's you might such as Carly.
I just had a question for Daniel about the
Okay.
yield generating NFTs. Is that something that is how would one go about creating an NFT that's a yield generating NFT or a collection that's yield generating? Is that something that can be done on like a platform like OpenSea, or do you need to do it sort of on a specialized platform or do it yourself in some way?
Yes, that's a great question. So OpenSea does not give you OpenSea enables you to create a yielding if you were to mint or upload your collection directly onto OpenSea, you can set a royalty. However, the smart contract isn't owned by you when you upload your artwork directly to OpenSea, which is why it's crucial to own the smart contract and to independently develop it away from OpenSea. And the beautiful thing about Ramp, that software I shared with you guys, is that it automatically mints automatically lists the collection onto OpenSea upon a mint occurring. So not only do you benefit from getting that mint fee if you set one right off the bat before it even hits OpenSea, but you also benefit by setting the parameters of your royalty and how that royalty works. You can dictate in your smart contract how much of that royalty that you set and goes back to the community, if you want it to go back to the community at all, and how much you get to keep for yourself as the artist. So, a lot of what I've seen in the market is that, collections are more prone to success and transaction volume, which is the key here. Transaction volume when there is a benefit to the community, when there's a benefit to the collectors that are buying into that token. So I hope I answered that question for you, Colin.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So is any other artists or the question about that? Anything?
I had one thing that I'd like to share that I didn't share when I was presenting that I just thought of, and this might be of interest to some of the artists involved. I'm just going to share my screen here. So I recently was asked to help out as an advisor for this platform called Niftorian, which is just starting up. And one component of what they're doing, and they have like a YouTube show and some other things. They're rolling out a profile pick project, sort of along the lines of the Bored Apes and so forth. But one thing that they do that is interesting and might be interesting to some of the artists is this accelerator program, which is basically like a boot camp for artists to learn about NFTs and to pitch a project similarly to the way that like an incubator might function, where an entrepreneur with a startup idea comes up with a project and then at the end of the process pitches it. And this would be done, in the context of NFTs, which I think is a pretty interesting model. And I haven't seen it being done, by a whole lot of other outfits. And the guy behind it is a very smart guy. He has a site called VoiceBot, which is one of the leading industry online publications for voice-activated technologies like Alexa and Siri and stuff like that. So I'll share a link with this in the chat as well. And that's the accelerator program is something where there's an open application, but if you do get accepted into the program, it's free, you know, and just no strings attached. I think it's conducted over Zoom over the period of a couple weeks.
Very cool. If I may, I'd like to also give everyone some insight, a little more insight about my background and exactly what we're working on here at Larecoin and with Crypto Chums. I've been in software engineering since 2011. I ran a software company called Mogul Inc. We were one of the first domain name aggregators back in the 2010 to 2015 year, about what? 5 years, and I come from a software engineering background, so I've been developing SaaS technologies and software for many years now. And what we're doing at Larecoin is very unique. We have essentially a blockchain fintech cryptocurrency ecosystem that we're bringing to market. Speaking about accelerators, you know, we just got accepted to Grant Cardone's incubator. I don't know if anyone knows who Grant Cardone is, but essentially, we're bringing out a very unique ecosystem to market, a consumer-driven smart wallet and exchange platform, and a merchant solution that enables merchants, including art galleries and artists, to be able to accept cryptocurrency in exchange for their products and services using our software as a service solution, point of sale, and advertising engine. What makes the merchant solution very unique is that we're cutting out all the middle men when it pertains to advertising, like Google Ads, Facebook, and the thousands of other platforms out there that are relying on ad revenue as a primary revenue driver for their businesses. And we're doing that to induce more conversions because we're a merchant processing company, essentially, that are providing processing services at 1%, which is 50% lower than Visa and MasterCard. And if you hold our coin, we're discounting all our fees by 50%. So right now, we just finished our pre-sale. We're in an IEO phase, and it's a very, very interesting time right now with what's occurring in the space. So I encourage everyone to go to our website at larecoin.com and take a look at our project there. Also with the NFTs, Crypto Chums is a very unique project as well. It's, like I said, a freedom of speech project. So it's the first decentralized social network that enables people to have complete freedom of speech. It's a yielding NFT collection. So we're in a pre-sale right now. You can mint one of Crypto Chums as we speak and be the first ones to own it. And the next 60 days are going to be wild, folks. So I encourage everyone to take a look at that and do some due diligence and research on that. In the last couple of weeks, I just one final thing before I end here. We managed to grab the attention of celebrities like Oprah Winfrey and Mark Cuban and Snoop Dogg and Shaquille O'Neal, to name a few. And like I said, Grant Cardone, which is a multi-billion-dollar asset manager in Florida, who accepted us in his incubator. We've got a very strong executive team. Our business plans are online and completely transparent. And I am available to do this more often with Luchia. I'm super excited to be behind this program. And I hope I was resourceful to everybody. It was great meeting you, Colin, and Kenneth Hu, who presented us with Formosart Art. And if I could be of any assistance, I'm right here and available. I am busy, but Luchia knows how to reach me.